Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Tea Tuesday, or in my world, Crafty Tuesday. Pour yourself a cup of tea, and let's see what project we have for this week. Hello. Well, I hope everyone had a nice weekend. We'll pour ourselves a quick cup of tea, and then we'll examine a little bit of a miniature thrift, and then we'll get on with our project. This was a fun little thrift. If there are any more left tomorrow, I'll pick the rest of them up and clean the bottles and the goblets and the grapes off of them and repurpose or sell the rest. This delightful little vase, I thought that would look wonderful in the front hallway. It was about $3. And this came in a bag of other trinkets. I thought that would be fun in the children's bedroom. And that was intriguing to make maybe a mold for a picture frame. This delightful Victorian sewing machine I purchased off of eBay. The store is called Miniature Crush. You can find them online as well. And today our project is going to be all about this sewing machine. Let's have a sip of hot tea and get started. I've pre-cut and pre-prepared several sections of this project. This way it will make it faster. You're going to need popsicle sticks, emery board, scissors, and this is our little sewing machine. And what we're going to do today is we're going to make a box for it. This is how I've measured the base. Now there are no measurements put up for you because every little product that you purchase is going to be different. So you're going to have to do those measurements to suit whatever you buy. But this is how I made this little carrying case. So I'm going to cut 3 sections out of each piece and glue them together. And that's going to raise it up just enough to give it a nice platform inside the box, because the box is going to be roughly to scale 3 inches deep. These clips are very handy, always a good reminder. So that's what it's going to look like once it's been glued and dried. This is a piece of veneer, and we're going to center it . Then we're going to warm it up. Your parts might shift while under the iron, but because it's heated while it's still warm, you can put it back into position. That's what it's going to look like when it's dry. And now we'll move on to the next section. These are the ends of the top of the box. You're going to use a large craft stick, one of the jumbos. You're going to cut 2 sections for each end and glue them together. The craft sticks tend to want to curl with the glue, so that's why I clip everything while the glue dries. And that's what it's going to look like when you're finished. These are the ends of the box. I'm showing you how to get your pieces ready for assembling. Each section is going to use 3 of the popsicle sized craft sticks. It's much easier when you measure your pieces and pre-cut them before you get started. Wood glue actually sets quite quickly, so if you have your pieces pre-cut, the project will go much faster. Next are the sides. Here I'm going to take a small piece of veneer and fit it into the base and give it a more finished look. We're going to use some spare insulation foam to create the top of our sewing machine box. This is just spare wood we're going to be using in just one moment. So I've taken my shape and I've put it on the sides of a spare piece of foam. Using some rough grit sandpaper I've hot glued next to me, I'm going to get that curve. And there it is. And that's how I've achieved that. Now we're going to take 2 pieces of veneer. Now you're going to want to measure it a little extra long from the actual size you're going to need it, because when you do curve it, one piece on the outside is going to end up shorter than the piece on the inside. Sugar gloves for candy making would be perfect for handling veneer. It's going to be hot. You're going to move quickly and get that curve. Now you can kind of eyeball it and find out where you need to trim it so the sides are even. And depending on the height of the little miniature that you purchase, that'll determine the height of the dome. These vintage paper cutters come in so handy. And we can see how it fits, pretty snug. Any gaps you might have, you can fill in with wood fill before the staining process. Now I've made my foam just slightly smaller than the width of the top of the case. I'm going to cover it in cellophane. This way the glue won't attach itself to the foam. When I made the mold, I cut away the equal amount of width from both sides of the box. This way I could fit the ends in to glue them neatly. Use however many rubber bands you might need to secure the curve onto the foam before you add your ends for gluing. I'm adding this wedge to bring the end right out to the edge of the veneer. Here we're going to frame the inside of the lid, and you're going to cut as you go for this part of the project. We are in the home stretch of our project, so while the lid dries, we're going to work on the base. We are ready to use the sides that we pre-glued. All sides should fit snugly on the veneer. It will take about an hour to dry and then we can move on. I'm going to sand each side and make them smooth because it's going to need to accept the veneer. Saving scraps from your veneer will come in very handy for small projects like this. Trim off any excess and then sand the edges to make them nice and smooth. You're going to be getting ready to stain very shortly. The glue is dry on our lid, so we're going to take all the clips off and get it sanded so it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to add a little veneer trim. And we're almost finished. I'm going to use some spare wire from my jewelry box and add a handle. I think for the time being, I'm going to use magnetic strips to attach the cover to the base. To secure the handle, I'm just going to use hot glue and a small piece of scrap wood, and that should finish it off very nicely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this project. Please like and subscribe, share my thrifting and crafting channel with your thrifting and crafting friends, and help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I welcome your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Check us out on Instagram and tap that notification button for upcoming announcements of thrifts and crafts. But most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.